Welcome, everyone, to the Everything Show, episode 767. I am your host, Matrix Lord 212, and I'm with Chris. What's up, Chris?
Hi, guys. What's up?
Okay, guys, this is going to be a purely Ghostbusters rant, okay? For those of you that don't know us, we're all, like, part of the Real Whovians cast that come on these Everything shows, and we have experience where it comes to when there's a slow news day or people writing an article and changing the article months later by switching words, and everybody loses their shit and they go with it like, oh my God. So from that experience, seeing this a mile away is easy, okay? There is, let's say, one person puts out an article, maybe the Hollywood Reporter, maybe Forbes, maybe, whatever. And they put out an article that basically they estimate, which means they guess, okay? But I don't really think they are guessing the box office because they also twisted the article, okay? And I'll let Chris read the article, but let me just jump into this first. My favorite, and I can't say this enough, site that I always go to is darkhorizons.com. I've been going to that for I think as long just about as it's been created, okay? Back when I had the web TV, okay? Back friggin' 1990, I guess, 8 or 9 or whatever. 1999, something like that, whatever. So I've been going to forever, and I use it religiously, right? Over the years, maybe there was 5 articles that pissed me off. Maybe. On my hand. Maybe 4, and this is the 5th one, okay? I lost my shit one time when they said that DC characters were from Marvel Comics. And I totally lost it, and I sent the message, and then they corrected it, That's a big mistake. That should never made it to the thing. There was a few other things that I just had a bit massive problem with, but it would never take away from me enjoying that site, okay? I just have a problem with the fact that you have to have an open friggin' mind. Don't you agree, Chris?
I don't know. I don't know if I would say you have to have an open mind, but I definitely agree with what you're saying. You know me, and for people who don't know, I'm not a fan of this movie.
Right.
I decided not to go see it because I was not on board with it.
Right.
But I don't have a problem with people liking it. I don't understand why there is such a backlash against individuals who liked the movie, who went to see the movie and enjoyed the movie. I like a lot of movies that people don't like. Right. But I have never experienced the animosity that people are experiencing now because of liking this movie. I don't really get it, and I don't know why. I know that they in some people's eyes, they've twisted a classic movie. I get that, but if you're not gonna like the movie, don't like the movie. Don't hate the people who like the movie.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But this article, I have the one from Dark Horizons. I saw a version of this article before. I didn't pay any mind to it because it came from one of these sites that reports anything. I shouldn't say reports anything. They report things without having a good background check first.
Okay.
Then I saw this article on 3, 4, 5 different sites. I didn't even know Dark Horizons reported it until you said it, but I just pulled it up and it's there. So go check it out on Dark Horizons.
And I'm commenting underneath, by the way, because I just had a fit. Yeah.
I don't know. See, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, this is absolutely true, because we don't know. You know what I'm saying? But I will say this, playing it from the other side. If this movie really did lose more than $70 million or around $70 million, then it in no way deserves a sequel.
Right.
I'm sorry. I know money is not the only thing, but that is a huge financial loss from a movie like this.
Correct.
And if that's true, I'm sorry. You got to shut down the sequel. I don't want to hear it, from from Sony. Oh, we're doing it no matter what. No, I'm sorry.
Right.
If you're losing this much on the movie, you got to stop.
Well, I want to point one thing out that bothered me more than anything else. For those of you guys that are just jumping on from the Ghostbusters thing, cursing me out and whatever, and you really don't know me, okay? Because this came up today. I don't play a character, okay? I am Matrix Lord 212. I've always been Matrix Lord 212 since I started the YouTube channel. And, you know, I'm myself, my real name too, okay? I am not one of these people that will come on here and play an act. I don't have time for that. So what you see is what you get. I'm not stupid like everybody says, but it goes back to that old Captain America speech. If you saw Civil War, you know what I'm talking about. That if I believe in something, I don't care if everybody on the planet disagree. Nobody's going to change my opinion. And, you know, I'm going to have somebody, you know, it's just a big thing. So my whole thing is we are so good, me, Chris, people on the show, we are constantly looking at the news. We had reported this movie like years ago. We had did updates for years. We have gotten news months ago about the Ghostbusters animated movie that's going to follow this movie and the Ghostbusters animated TV series. We even covered it already, okay? Before the friggin' movie came out. So my biggest problem, one of the biggest things is Dark Horizons had posted before the movie came out of the Ghostbusters reboot with Paul Feig and everybody and the girls that there was going to be, you know, they're trying to do a cinematic universe. They're going to do this movie. They're going to do an animated movie. They're going to do a TV series and then possibly a sequel in 2020 or 19, whatever, right? That was always the plan, okay? What pisses me off is Dark Horizons even reported this months and months ago. The article was twisted where they're like, oh, it's losing $70 million. Now they got to change all these plans, and they're going to do an animated movie and an animated series. Bullshit. That was always part of the plan, okay? Don't effing try to pull that shit where you have put articles out already, all these places, and make it like it's brand fucking new news, that make it a whole storyline out of nothing. Like they're retracing their steps, they're doing everything, there's phone calls, there's meetings, they're going and animated for kids. No, they were always doing that. Okay, so that's what pisses me off. And I expected better too from Dark Horizons too, because they did the damn article. So how do you put it in this article like it's like you're spinning the situation? Okay? And again, I love Dark Horizons, don't get me wrong. Garth, he's great. Okay? But this one thing, we agree to disagree on this thing. Okay? I don't understand it, this article. Why do they lie like that? Why is it that we know that there was going to be an animated series, we know there was going to be an animated movie, and you try to twist it to make it look like it's a failure? And I think the biggest problem here is that people want it to fail, so they bullshit their way, and you have this all effing politics. This year is going to go down in history. People are going to say, what did you hate about 2016? Half the people are going to say they didn't like the Ghostbusters, they hated on that, and then they're going to say the political candidates. And that's what they're going to say they hated, okay? And then they're going to have the people that like the movie that hate the people that hated the movie. It's going to be a whole mixture of shit. So my thing is, they have the influence to try to destroy things. The power of social media, the power of this, to try to keep verbatim in your head that the movie sucks, the movie sucks, the movie sucks, the movie sucks. Like they live with the subliminal messages, the movie sucks, don't go see it, right? I don't give a shit if you say it a million fucking times. If I want to go see it, I'm going to go see it. And I don't give a shit because I look at every article there is. I look at all the box office. I look at this. I look at that. And I'm scratching my head for the first time ever and saying, why are they lying? Why are they bullshitting about this whole situation with the Ghostbusters movie? So, Chris, if you want to do the article.
Well, I mean, honestly, the article is just basically saying what we've already said, that it's reporting that the movie has at least like a $70 million loss, maybe greater.
Well, they're estimating. They're saying that their analysis of it, they're acknowledging that it's not released everywhere yet, but they're acknowledging, it's a comedies don't do. This is not a comedy. This is a comedy sci-fi movie. It's a different thing.
They're also saying They're also saying that it was previously said that it would need to make at least 300 million to break even, and it had a production budget of 144 million.
Right.
Right now, it's just under 180 million, and like Joe said, it hasn't been released everywhere yet. But in this article, they also say that Sony has disputed the amount that they're reporting was lost, saying that there are other revenue streams. One thing I think Sony did make a mistake about saying, though, they mentioned gaming as one of the revenue streams, and I know that they're saying that that's just it's a revenue stream for everything that they released that has a game tied to it. The game that came out for this movie was atrocious.
Yeah, I never played.
It was a absolute disaster. So I don't think that they should have even mentioned that for this.
And it also, I don't. It's not Ghostbusters' fault that the game failed. The game sucks. The game sucks. You can't blame the movie if they didn't do a good enough video game, right or wrong.
Right. No.
So
right.
don't blame the effing movie. That's not. They didn't make the Ghostbusters. Didn't make a company go bankrupt. Okay, it's the guys that made the game that didn't. I don't even know why they were hard to do it. That's it. Hi, Sally.
Hello.
All right, this is pure ranting Ghostbusters. Okay, so what I want to do basically is I want to basically do a little education here. I want to show some of these things to prove my points, all right, or not prove my points. And basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to screen share the box office numbers. Okay. And again, guys, whether you like me or don't like me, I'm trying to be fair here. I'm not trying to be biased. All right. What we have here is simple. We have a domestic total of 118,099,659. You see that, everybody?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You see that, right, Sally? Okay.
Yeah.
The budget, of course, 144, right? We get over here. You see my cursor?
Mm-hmm.
This hasn't changed for like a week. 62,800,000. That's the foreign markets, okay? Worldwide is 180,899,659, right? Now, as far as I'm concerned, when a movie is a flop, it is totally out of the top 10 right away, like a week or two. I don't see a movie that stays in the top 10 for 4 weeks, even after Suicide Squad, still in the top 10. Now, my thing is this, okay? Here is the daily numbers, and I understand, it makes half. It made 859,700, right? Yesterday, okay? And, of course, I estimated on my other casts or whatever, different things, my videos, what I think it's going to make here, okay? Now, let's just keep this in mind, okay? We don't have the numbers for today, obviously, because we're in today. So what I want to show you is this. And I was talking to this guy, Thrill, on the thing there, right? And I said here, if you look, do you see this where it says as of, right there?
Yep.
And you see it says 8/7/16, August 7, 2016, right? Now, if you look, Argentina, right? This is as of not 8/7/16, but as of July 31st, 2016. So we don't have an accurate number of what it's done up until 8/7. We have Australia, which, look, it did 8,686,266, right? But all these other places, look, boom, 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 boom. Now, here we go again. The Czech Republic, 8/7, right? Again, we don't have everywhere, right? Finland, 8/7. Now, it could be that the movie dropped out and it's not playing anymore. Or it could be that we don't have the complete numbers, okay? Because for some reason, they keep adding stuff in during the week, and they try to get caught up. I guess I don't know why it takes so long to report. Italy, 1,775,000. See what I'm getting here? This is not all complete as far as I'm concerned, okay? And again, it doesn't list any of the places that's not out yet, like Spain, Germany, Japan. So now, what I gather is, when this whole thing is complete, and it all says 8/7 on the side, we're going to have a little jump. Whether you add another 100,000 or 50,000, even if these numbers were in half, right? Peru, let's say, was half, maybe it was 500,000 next week, right? Or even if it was not, right? You're going to have some millions that are going to be added when this is complete to 8/7. Now, while we're waiting for those numbers, we're going to have a complete box office for this week. It's going to make, like, say, a couple 100,000 tomorrow, a couple 100,000, whatever. We're probably going to have a good 3 million or 4 million that I made this week, or 4.5 million added to that. It's probably going to be, the domestic number as of Sunday is probably going to be, I mean, the total thing right here, worldwide, it's going to say 184 or 185 million, right? Then we should have a maybe 30 million or 20 million jump just to add up to the 87, okay? And then this is going to change, all right? And it's going to be over the 200 mark. Now, what I'm waiting for is, we see that in the foreign markets, they always, I think they report every 2 weeks or every whatever. We're not getting it every, it takes a while for us to get the numbers, right? We're going to have a whole, now next week's box office, and Chris, stop me if I'm wrong, okay? We see the big drop, right? So we see 1,007,000, then 859, right? Depending on what comes out this week, we really don't know until we see the box office on the weekend. But we're going to assume that Ghostbusters is going to go, I'm going to say it's still going to stay in the top 10. I actually believe that some movies are going to get knocked out, and I think it's going to stay in this top 10. But it may not, but we should have, like, say, 300,000, 300,000, 400,000. We're still going to make like 1 million or 2 or 3 maybe next week. And that's going to add to the domestic total, worldwide total, whatever. And then we're going to have to get the figures from, what is it, the new releases, which is what, 816, 820, we got France. So we're going to have those numbers that we have to add into. Plus, what if those places that they're released, like Spain and all that, it's usually going to take us 2 weeks to get those numbers. So if it's released, let's say on, what did we say the last date was, 24th August, I think we originally said? It's going to take at least September, we've been saying, before we get those numbers from A24, right? Now, what if the places that it's released, it's not only out for a week or two? What if it does well even out? We're still going to have numbers. Okay, I'm not trying to be optimistic and say that it's going to constantly make money. No, it's going to die at some point, okay? But I really don't see how you can calculate it, right, that it's a flop when, out of the blue, in Australia, it made over $8 million, which you may not think it's a big deal, but it is for this movie, okay? You can't calculate it yet. Honestly, all these different countries, their mindset and everything, you can't have an accurate calculation as far as I'm concerned. So what do you think, Chris, of what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, they did say in the article that they weren't trying to pass this off as a end all be all number. They were estimating, and I think that it is fair to estimate how it's going to do from these other countries, because you can look back at movies of the same type or whatnot, or with the same type of cast, and you can kind of see how those movies did and kind of leverage it against, or not leverage, but compare it to this. That doesn't mean that you're going to get, like you said, an accurate number, but they weren't in this trying to say, this is it, this is what happened. They were saying, this is what we're projecting. And like I've said before, if what they've projected, if it does happen, or if it's even close to that, let's say it's a $60 million loss, if there is a loss, this movie, in my opinion, is a failure. It would not have even have broken even. At that point, now it's costing money. Right. So you got to stop. You got to stop with the sequel idea and this and that. And in my opinion, if that happens, we may not see another Ghostbusters movie for a long time. And if we do, I have a very funny feeling it would be connected to the original two. Right. Somehow.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to say absolutely not to those articles. It's not going to be a $7 million loss, a $60 million, $50 million loss even. I don't think it's going to be hardly a loss. Because from what I gather, okay, they're saying it makes $300 million, it breaks even, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not considered a flop. Broke even. Like a Batman vs. Superman thing, but then it makes a little more money than the $300 million, and it's a little profitable, right?
Yeah, I would say so.
So it makes $301 million. It's $1 million. Let's just take a guess, right? And say he makes $301 million. It's $1 million profitable, right? It does $310. It's $10 million profitable, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The way I see it, there's no way it's going to be a loss like that. I don't even think it's going to be a loss at all, to tell you the truth. I don't know if it's going to do more than break even, but I don't think it's going to be a loss. I don't see how that's going to be possible. Because what I'm expecting is, and I could use any movie to show you. It was like 51 million or 50 million for like 3 weeks. Then all of a sudden last week, we got a little jump up to 62, right? Little jump. They threw us a bone, they gave us some places. Australia, thank you, 8 million, whatever, right? Once all these things are calculated, there's no way you can tell me that when this stuff comes in from foreign markets, that it's going to be 10 million. For all these places, no way. 20 million, no way. I'm telling you, I think it's going to be way over. I'm expecting a $100 million jump. I'm definitely expecting. Because you want to know why? Even without China. Let's look at these other movies for a minute. Because I guarantee you, if you're going to use the same formula with Ghostbusters, right, then you got to consider, if you're considering Ghostbusters a failure, you got to consider these other movies a failure too. I'm going to look at Star Trek Beyond, all right? This is an interesting, I really hope you guys enjoy the cast. I mean, this is an interesting thing we're showing here. Maybe we're boring some people, I hope not. But here we go. Okay.
I finally got to see Star Trek. It was good, I thought.
You liked it? Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the situation. Why is the number similar with Ghostbusters? Ghostbusters has what? 62 million. Foreign markets, 66 million. What's going on here? Why are they all dissimilar? Well, there's a reason for that. The reason is that Star Trek Beyond is not released everywhere either. Okay? Star Trek Beyond is not going to be released everywhere until the end of October towards Halloween. So we're not going to get an accurate count of what if it's a success or failure until friggin' November. Okay? If you look at the foreign markets here, okay, they say 8.7. And again, it's a situation where, okay, thank you, Australia, 6 million, you reported, but these places are not reporting, not everybody. And it's the same people that are 8.7. This shows right there, right, that it's not that the movie isn't doing well. It's not that it's out of the theater, because it's the same damn countries that didn't report for Ghostbusters, did not report here. Okay, you got Italy. Thank you, Italy. You got all these places, but it's the same people, the stragglers, that are very, very late in reporting the box office numbers. Okay? United Kingdom, 16 million. Okay? 920,490. Okay? Wow. All right? So this, here you go. The budget for this was 185. Ghostbusters was 144. And you have, look at this, worldwide, 196. So if you cut it in half, which the theaters make money. We all know that. You can post that a million times. I know that. But the budget didn't make back according to this, and then marketing you didn't factor this. So this is a failure. You could say that this is a failure. And anybody that didn't know any better, that wasn't really looking into this with the foreign box office or anything, would say, oh, well, let's make a whole article. Star Trek Beyond is a flop. The movie company is not going to make a Star Trek 4. They're not going to get Chris Hemsworth to be, you know, Kirk's father again. It's not going to be a time travel. We don't know what J.J. Abrams is talking about. This is a flop. So, but why ain't anybody losing their shit about this? Because for some reason, Ghostbusters has so much hate. But you're going to tell me that this doesn't apply to the same formula? What do you have to say, Chris?
Well, there is an argument for why it doesn't apply to the formula.
Okay.
And the argument is because this is coming out in China. And that market has literally changed the game for every movie that comes out there. When this comes out, it's probably going to go through the roof. But you can't say the same thing about Ghostbusters because it is completely out of that market.
But Deadpool did great without China.
Huh?
Deadpool did great without China.
Yeah, because Deadpool was marketed properly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Deadpool was the movie that everybody wanted to see. This Ghostbusters was not marketed properly, and people were pissed off at the way the movie was made.
Right.
So, and that's a superhero movie, too. Those movies are now on a different level than a lot of other movies. Even Star Trek is not on that level.
Right.
The only thing really that matches that level now, in my opinion, is Star Wars. So, it's not necessarily the same thing, and Ghostbusters has been out longer than Star Trek, and it's having a very difficult time even making back its budget. I mean, so you can't really compare the two like that. I see where you're coming from because it's not released everywhere, But that Chinese market has become so important that not being released there is a problem. And that's the problem that I think Ghostbusters is going to face when all is said and done. They're going to look back and say, yeah, I mean, this movie did not do well, not well enough. Not,
and this is
not
Jason Bourne's situation. Again, it didn't take back its budget because you got to cut it in half and marketing and stuff like that. So that's in the same boat too until it's released everywhere. And again, the foreign markets too. It's not released everywhere. I don't know if this is going to be a trend this whole year. Maybe I'm looking. I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's becoming a thing this year, but I think what you said before was right. I think that there's a lot of people who want it to do bad, and every time they hear one little thing about it, maybe not, something that's negative, they jump on it and they try to blow it out of proportion without knowing what happened. Like without knowing the facts behind it. I mean, we all do that. We're all guilty of that. But like, I don't know. I don't think that that article was necessary. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who got this number that it's a $70 million loss estimated. Right. I don't know where they're estimating that from. I don't know what they're using to calculate that. But I mean, we got to wait and see. But I mean, if it breaks even, okay, great. It broke even. I guess you could make a sequel with a smaller budget. But I got to say, if it doesn't break even, I'm sorry. I don't think that deserves a sequel.
See, now here, this is the top 10, right? We got Sausage Party coming out. We have 2 other things coming out. I honestly think that Lights Out's going to be gone. Ice Age is going to be gone. Nerve is going to be gone. Maybe 9 Lives even. I think Ghostbusters is going to somehow still be 10 or 9 or something. I don't think it's going to go away yet. I'm hoping. But it could go away completely. So that's what we have here. And again, just to go back to Ghostbusters for a second, right now it's 180. It's very close to 181. Again, it will be 181 tomorrow. We know that because all you need is like about $101, 100,000, a little over 100,000, and it's boom, it's there, 181 million. But I honestly think it's gonna cross well over 200, and I think once the numbers are in, I mean, what do you think? Let's go to this scenario, okay? If this movie, out of the blue, adds on 130 million from foreign markets, what do you think all these hating fans are going to say? Some are trolls, some are not trolls. You think they're going to lose their, you know what?
No, I think that they're gonna come up with reasons for why it's it still shouldn't get a sequel and whatnot. But I got to tell you, 130 million sounds kind of way out there.
Right. But
where does it? What big countries that we know enjoy films? Where does it have left to open?
Well, here's the thing. When Australia made 8 million or something, right?
Yeah.
So you add on another week or 2 of Australia, maybe it's another 4 million. Maybe it's 3 million. Even in the UK, you add 1 million or 2 million. It adds up pretty quickly because it's still out in some of those places because it was just released in some of those places. So, odds are you're not going to have a week and it's going to go away. You may be just like it's out here for a month. Why can't it be out there for a month?
Right. No. Yeah. I'm just saying, what other countries that have left to open in?
Spain, Germany, France, Japan. Off the top of my head.
I don't see 100 million
What
coming
in
from
Japan,
those places.
How much could it make from Japan? 10 million?
Maybe.
And
the problem with Japan right now, though, is that anything that comes out soon is going to get destroyed.
Godzilla.
Yeah, because it's wrecking house over there.
Shin Gojira.
It's wrecking house over there. So I don't. If anything is coming out soon in Japan, it's in trouble. It's just it's bad move.
In other words, we may be in a situation where Ghostbusters goes up against Shin Gojira, and Shin Gojira just blasts the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like.
Not to mention that they calculate the sales different in Japan.
Right.
So
wouldn't it be some shit if Ghostbusters knocked Shin Gojira out?
if it comes
2?
out at a late enough time, I think it could do that. But I don't think that's
crazy.
going to happen. I really don't think that's
You
going
can
to happen.
imagine the stories that they can have everywhere with that. They'll have a field day with that. All right, so it's just a matter of wait and see. Wait and see. I mean, there's nothing we can do about it. People may go quiet about it. They may not do videos about it. Hell, I may not do videos about it, but when the time comes, and I know I do videos every day. I might not do videos every day, but when the time comes, we're going to do a final report on it. And I honestly have a feeling that a lot of people are going to be surprised. That it's going to be profitable, they're going to announce the sequel, and then people are really going to lose their shit totally. I mean, I'm talking like, mass hysteria, get the pitchforks with flames, they're going to lose it. Bad. And I don't really care. Because the whole thing is that whether you like a movie, you don't like a movie, you shouldn't become stupid when it comes to certain things. Like, you should always look at all the different options out there to see and research. If you're going to go quick to make a hate video and make 10 hate videos, and then when the movie shows that it's a success, you lose your credibility, don't you? If these people are proven wrong, right, Chris? Don't they lose their credibility? Hey, crickets. I don't know. All right. Anyway, Sally, how you doing?
Oh, sorry, my microphone was
That's
messed
okay.
up.
No, I'm saying if they're making hate videos, right?
Yeah.
And then they're proven wrong, don't they lose their credibility a little bit?
I wouldn't necessarily say that they lose their credibility. I would just say that they were wrong. But I would say they would lose some credibility if they went out of their way to keep saying that it was bad, it was bad, it was bad.
Right.
But you don't know. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It depends on how you make a video. You know what I'm saying?
And some of these new people that come to my channel, this is one movie. Of how many movies, Sally, that we cover a year?
Yeah, a lot.
A lot. Only it's getting a lot of attention, just like Shin Gojira. We're doing a lot of Shin Gojira videos. We're going to start doing a lot of Suicide Squad videos because we're covering what's in the news, okay? But I'm actually covering Ghostbusters more because I just can't believe the outcry of people that have hatred. I mean, people honestly think that if I'm not right about this, my whole channel is going to go down. I'm going to be done. Like, this is my career or something, And it is just one movie. I've been wrong before. Hell, sometimes I've been freaking horribly wrong with certain things, And sometimes I've been crazy right. But it's just one movie that we cover over so many movies. So many. We cover everything. We cover Lights Out's getting a sequel. I mean, crap, we've been talking about Christopher Walken in 9 Lives, everything, man. So, and it's going to continue. The YouTube channel is going to continue. I'm going to continue. In fact, pretty soon I'm going to be making trailers for all the fall premieres of all these shows. You're going to have a lot of surprises. There's going to be some changes to the shows. And it's going to be pretty cool and fun, so check that out. That's all I have to say about that. Now, Sally, you said you saw Star Trek?
Yeah,
You enjoyed it?
I liked it.
Yeah. And you like Ghostbusters? You didn't like Ghostbusters?
I mean, I haven't seen Ghostbusters.
Oh, you haven't seen Ghostbusters. Okay. All right. So now we're going to go to the Real Hoogans cast because I have an unboxing. So thank you, guys. Check us out on Real Hoogans cast. Take care. Bye for now.